Hello. Let me preface this by saying you should see the other guy. He is mangled beyond all belief. No, I'm just kidding. It's all peace and love on my end, at least externally. I just felt a need to relay a couple things that had been striking my mind as interesting, things that have been in my subconscious for a while that I've not really expressed out loud completely. But I'm starting to see that the dysfunction within people, it's tangible. Like whenever I look around at my environment, I either see people that are completely dead inside, that are going through tired motions, unable to express what pains them the most. I also see people that are completely in the matrix, bogged down. They are aloof. It's as if the blinders just come on and off. Like I keep mentioning, the blinders come on and off. But I seem to think that a seeping awareness is occurring in the background, and it's happening in such a way that we're not going to be able to even relay it to each other. There's just going to be intermittent, sporadic awakenings that shock people, either into maybe changing their whole belief and ideology, or perhaps it'll be the end of them. This whole period of time, I think, has encouraged that people not be their best self. It's a strange concept to think, but it's almost been encouraged that people be the worst versions of themselves, and a need to keep playing along to perpetuate the notion that this is still normal waking life happening, when in fact it is not. It's becoming more and more of a spiritual arena that has not been labeled as such, that has not been really touched on by everybody. It's been a phenomenon that's been occurring in the background, and all of our needs to uphold normal waking life and to keep existing in this reality as we were, as the world changes, that just is going to continue to be a concept that keeps happening. And I just seem to think that what's going to result is just a lessening of everything, where everything just kind of has the meaning, purpose, value, character, and soul ripped out of it, but it still exists. And that's kind of what we're dealing with now, in the world around me at any rate. I think what's ultimately going to happen is our inability to express what pains us is going to be the end of us as people. Our inability to vent, be real, point out anything out of the way, anything otherworldly, anything spiritual in nature, is devalued in this society. There's you have your surface level, but we're on the surface level of the surface level. It precedes the surface level, I believe. So I think that for intelligent, high vibration people, these spiritual attacks that are happening against people like myself, they're directed at us to reduce our purpose, to take away our drive to keep living, to make being around people unappealing. Because I know I'm not speaking just for myself here, but it's almost as if when another human being speaks to me, it pisses me off, because it isn't adding anything valuable to the situation normally, and it is reducing my ability to critically think, or that is their attempt to. Um, I've gotten very good at balancing in my mind. Blend and balance within my mind is an important thing that I've been working on. It's how I've kept my equilibrium and how I've maintained myself as the person that I am. I'm a thinker. I'm somebody who likes to dig deep, and I don't feel okay unless I understand something completely. And what we're dealing with is a very complex existential disaster that is, its main aim is to simplify us, to keep us in a grip of control, to keep us bogged down, and for us to never feel like we can exceed or surpass our limitations. And that's something that I can't dig on. I don't choose to believe that we can't overcome this. It just won't happen on a large level. On a large level, the world is just going to gradually decline and lessen and simplify, and we're all incurring trauma that we can't even speak of, that is affecting our abilities to reason and to be the good people. I mean, it's a trauma and guilt cycle is designed to do just that, keep you in a trauma and guilt cycle where you never deviate from it, you never get better, you never break any generational trauma, you're just taking a part in it. That's why I keep saying it is the work of the devil, and it is. There's no denying that it is to me. We live in a world where we must know these types of things. We feel it in our hearts, but we can't ever express it due to the fear of scrutiny, the fear of our past becoming a problem in our present reality, or just the fact that we literally can't. Like, I seriously believe that the supernatural component of this phenomenon in life that we're experiencing, it's limiting. It's meant to suppress and regress us, and it's doing just that. The lack of logic that is instilled or that is present due to the need to uphold normal waking life and perpetuate the notion that nothing weird or out of the way is happening, it's going to add up in a detrimental way. And whenever the blinders do come off and we have this grand awakening that I sense is going to happen, it's going to horrify us to see all these problems that have been created that are, we can't even deal with them because we can't form a cohesive dialogue, and it's such a complex issue happening in the world with everything to begin with. Nobody's ever going to be on the same page. Very few people are ever going to be able to express their feelings about how the past several years have affected them, because we've all been a victim of somebody during this time period, and we may or may not ever be able to express that to them or to anybody else. We're going to find ourselves in situations that are difficult to explain our reasoning for things. We're just going to have to trust our intuition and not care what other people think at all. But like I said, and I've made it a theme to mentioning it in every upload to take seriously the value of this app, Skewy. I stumbled across a way to amplify the globalization, to point out the AI that's being used to harass us in a tangible way, these handlers, as well as some components of this otherworldly component that I keep bringing up. I will delve more in detail with anybody if you're able to dig deep with me about that subject, because there's a lot to be said, and I'm being tactful and coy. I know quite a bit that I've figured out. I'm a quite clairvoyant person, and I've figured out a good bit just by using my brain and thinking logically and deducing certain things. So I will dig on a deeper level with somebody one-on-one about that if you want to know what that exactly means. But otherwise, I'm just going to keep it a little bit more coy. But there's ways to prove that this is a spiritual event, and I would love to indulge people if they're curious of what that means. So just feel free to speak to me if you're able to. I seem to think that people like me that make sense, that are trying to find ways around and circumvent the system, we're going to be scrutinized the most heavily, and we're going to be the most isolated. As fate would have it, I'm in like the South, where it's the Bible Belt. People are scared of their own shadow. And the intelligent quotient here, like per capita where I'm at, is certainly lower than in other parts of the world. So I am not a product of my environment. I feel as if I need to reach somebody outside of my environment so we can talk about this phenomenon and what it is meant to all of us. So just feel free to reach out if you're able to. Let's see what is possible in terms of communication. They don't want people like me and you talking if you're an intelligent, high vibration person. They just simply don't want us to ever know each other. And there might need to even be great lengths taken for people like us to connect and know each other, to whom it concerns. So just do what you can and think creatively, and keep the faith.